Welcome back. As you might guess, going back and forth between the United States and France, it's inevitable that you start comparing the costs that are associated with living in each place. And this week, we're going to take a look at some of our staple weekly purchases from the grocery store, from our local Bel Air market here in California, and we're comparing it to the Intermarché grocery store in our local town near us of Basine. So, enjoy. We start our comparison with apples. Apples kind of come in different varieties and sizes, so we just basically tried to go with the least expensive in each place. And for a pack of 6 in France, U.S. dollars, it's about $2.68. And for the United States, same amount of apples, it's about $5.97. Next up, we are comparing orange juices. So in the United States, there's a big variety of orange juice to choose from. And so we went with our weekly staple, and it is about $4.99 US here. And the one that we use in France is about $5.91 for the same 1.5 liter container. So you can see that in France is a little bit pricier than here. This next comparison is one of my favorites. We're comparing the price of Camembert, and we tried to show kind of the selection that we have here in our local grocery store here in California. But as you will be able to see, it is nothing compared to the selection that you have for cheese in France. And the price here for the same brand, same size, was $7.99, and in France, $2.89 comparatively in US dollars. And I have to say that we've seen this price difference in cheeses kind of go across all the different styles of cheese as well, including Gruyere and lots of our favorites. So it really is a lot less expensive there versus in the United States. The next comparison is a little tricky because we tend to buy eggs in a little bit bigger sizes here in the United States. As you can see, we tried to compare like our organic brown eggs that we get each week to what you find in the grocery stores in France. One thing that's really different is the eggs in France are not refrigerated, and you don't have to keep them in the refrigerator when you get them home, which is different than in the United States. And you can see that the price difference is also substantial. In the United States, 12 eggs is about $5.98, and in France, the same 12 eggs are $3.22 equivalent. The next comparison is taking yogurt from the United States and comparing it to the yogurt in France. And so there are similar brands, but yogurt was invented in France, and they take their creamy desserts and creamy snacks very seriously. So you can see that we have a selection, and there are some unique types of yogurts and pudding snacks, but as you'll see in France, there are cases and cases of different styles of yogurt. So we took the brand that we like to eat, which is U.S.A, and we did a per serving amount. So you can see that we did the French yogurt that comes in the 8 glass jars. It's our favorite, just plain vanilla yogurt, very tasty. And when we did the comparison, 8 servings to 8 servings. In the United States, it's $10.98, and in France, $2.61. Next up, something you cannot live without in France, and that is butter. And the French butter is just fantastic. We are trying to do a very price for price comparison. So we use the President brand because it's the same size and packaging and everything. But I will tell you, it's not my favorite butter. It's very good, but I have some salty ones that are just the best on a baguette. But for comparison's sake, we did do a side-by-side for that size of butter. For the United States, it's $3.49, and for the same one in France, it's $3.01. Not do a comparison from the U.S. and France without talking about wine. We picked rosé, and so it's kind of unfair because French wine, when you import it, just costs a lot more here. But across the board, most wine in France is much, much cheaper, and we haven't really found one yet that wasn't to our liking. So we picked just a rosé that we enjoy. It is a French rosé, and here in the United States, it is $15.99, and for the same bottle in France, it is $8.17. So yes, we enjoy exploring these comparisons very much. Our final comparison is for chicken. And this one's a little tricky because here in the United States, you can buy such big packages that the prices can kind of vary considerably between something that comes in, a huge multi-pack and something that comes in more in single servings or 1 or 2 servings. And in France, you pretty much just get smaller things in the grocery store in general, but servings of meat included. And so we did do a comparison without kind of taking into effect that here in the United States you can pay quite a bit more for free range and all those different delineations. So we just did standard grocery store chicken to standard grocery store chicken. And in France, it's about $2.66 US per pound. And in the United States, it averages out to be about $1.99 a pound. So it's just a little bit more there. So, as you can see, these are the side-by-side comparisons for all of the totaled groceries, and you can see there's quite a big difference in cost between the United States. We ended up with $56.88 as opposed to the same groceries or comparison groceries of $31.15 in France. So I hope you enjoyed watching that comparison, and I hope that you'll send us questions that you might have about other things that you're interested in for France as we look forward to heading back for our whole summer. So we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you to everyone who comes week after week, and please like and subscribe.